Over in Grand Forks, an argument between two men over games on a PlayStation led to one man getting a broken nose after being hit with a cooler. Grand Forks police were called out to an apartment on Sunday, March 24th for a call about a physical domestic dispute. Court documents say that the suspect, identified as Cody Bushi, didn't want to play games that were already on the hard drive and threatened to smash the video game console. The victim then stated to police that Bushi then ran at him while he was making dinner and was pushed against the oven and fridge. Bushi then allegedly broke the victim's nose after hitting him with a Playmate cooler. Bushi has been charged with aggravated assault.